In the small town of Willow Creek, there was a quiet street lined with old oak trees, casting long shadows over the cobblestone road. On this street, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan was known for his kind heart and gentle smile, but lately, his smile had faded. He had lost his love, Anna, not because she was gone, but because she had forgotten him. Anna had been in an accident that took her memories of Ethan away. She walked the same streets, passed by Ethan's house every day, but to her, he was a stranger. Ethan's heart ached every time he saw her, knowing she once loved him deeply. Ethan decided he would try to win Anna's heart again, not by overwhelming her with the past, but by creating new memories. He started by leaving a single red rose at her doorstep every morning. Anna found these roses curious, and they brought a smile to her face. One day, Ethan sat on a bench in the park, a book in hand, pretending to read while watching Anna walk by. She noticed the man who seemed to be everywhere she was. Their eyes met, and for a moment, it seemed like a spark of recognition flickered in Anna's eyes. But then she walked on, leaving Ethan with the hope that one day, she would remember. As days turned into weeks, Ethan and Anna's paths crossed more frequently. They exchanged polite hellos and small talk about the weather. With each encounter, Ethan saw the wall around Anna's heart slowly crumbling. He knew he had to be patient, for love is not something that can be rushed. Ethan's days began to revolve around the moments he would see Anna. He started to frequent the places she liked, always maintaining a respectful distance. He learned that she loved the little bakery on Main Street, so he took a job there, hoping to become a familiar face. Anna started to come into the bakery more often, drawn in by the delicious smells and the friendly new worker who always had a kind word for her. They began to chat more about the pastries, the weather, and little bits of their lives. Ethan found out that Anna loved painting, something she had taken up after the accident as a form of therapy. One day, Ethan mustered the courage to ask Anna if she would like to join him for a walk after her visit to the bakery. To his delight, she agreed. They walked through the park, talking and laughing, and for a moment, Ethan allowed himself to believe that they could start anew. As they sat by the pond, watching the ducks glide across the water, Anna turned to Ethan and said, "You know, you have a very familiar feeling about you. It's strange, but I feel like I've known you for a long time." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. He wanted to tell her everything, to pour out his heart and soul, but he held back. "Maybe it's because we've bumped into each other around town so much," he suggested with a smile. Anna nodded, but Ethan could see the wheels turning in her head. She was starting to question, to wonder, and that was all he could ask for. As the weeks turned into months, Ethan and Anna's bond grew stronger. They shared stories of their childhood, their dreams, and their favorite books. Anna's eyes would sometimes linger on Ethan's face, as if searching for something hidden in the depths of her memory. One chilly evening, they sat on a bench overlooking the town square. The twinkling lights from the lampposts cast a warm glow, and Ethan wrapped his scarf around Anna's shoulders. She leaned into him, and for a moment, it felt like they were the only two people in the world. "Do you ever wonder about lost love?" Anna asked, her voice soft. Ethan's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" Anna gazed into the distance. "I mean the kind of love that slips through your fingers, the one you can't quite hold onto. It's like a beautiful melody you once heard but can't remember the lyrics to." Ethan knew exactly what she meant. He had lost Anna once, and now he was determined to find a way back to her heart. "Sometimes," he replied, "we have to create new memories to replace the old ones." Anna turned to him, her eyes searching. "Do you think we can do that?" Ethan took a deep breath. "I believe in second chances," he said. "And I believe that love is a force that can bridge gaps, even the ones created by forgotten memories." They sat in silence, the air thick with unspoken words. Ethan wanted to tell Anna everything, their past, their love, the way her laughter echoed in his dreams. But he held back. He didn't want to overwhelm her. Instead, he reached for her hand, intertwining their fingers. "Let's make new memories," he whispered. "Together." Anna smiled, and it was like a sunbeam breaking through the clouds. "Yes," she said, "together." And so, they continued their journey, a delicate dance between the past and the present. Ethan knew that love wasn't about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It was in the quiet moments, the shared laughter, the stolen glances, the warmth of a hand in yours. As winter turned to spring, Ethan and Anna explored the town together. They visited the art gallery, where Anna marveled at the vibrant paintings. They took long walks by the river, their footsteps echoing off the stone walls. And every morning, Ethan left a single red rose at Anna's doorstep, a symbol of hope and persistence. Spring brought with it a sense of renewal, and with each passing day, Anna's curiosity about her past grew. She began to ask Ethan questions about the town's history, about the places that seemed familiar yet distant in her mind. Ethan answered her questions, careful not to reveal their shared past, but instead to help her rediscover it on her own. One afternoon, they found themselves at the local library, surrounded by the musty scent of old books. They were there under the pretense of researching the town's history, but as they flipped through the pages of dusty photo albums, they stumbled upon a picture that made Anna pause. It was a photo of a young couple at the town fair, locked in a tender embrace, their faces alight with joy. Anna's breath caught in her throat as she traced the outline of the woman in the picture. "She looks like me," she whispered. Ethan's heart hammered in his chest. "Yes, she does," he said softly. "Who is she?" Anna asked, her voice trembling. Ethan took a deep breath. "Her name is Anna," he began, "and she is very much in love with the man in the picture." Anna looked up at Ethan, her eyes wide. "And the man?" Ethan met her gaze, his own eyes filled with a mix of hope and fear. "His name is Ethan," he said. "And he never stopped loving her, not even when she forgot him." Tears welled up in Anna's eyes as the realization dawned on her. Memories flooded back in flashes, laughter, kisses, promises whispered under the stars. She remembered the love she had felt for the man sitting beside her, a love that had been lost but now found its way back. "Ethan," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "I remember." In that quiet library, amidst the echoes of countless stories, their own story took a new turn. They embraced, holding each other as if to make up for all the lost time. It was a moment of pure joy and relief, a testament to the enduring power of love. In the weeks that followed, Anna's memories returned in fragments. She remembered their first date, a picnic by the river, where Ethan had packed her favorite sandwiches and they'd laughed until the sun dipped below the horizon. She recalled the way he'd held her hand during scary movies, pretending to be brave even though he was terrified of horror films. Ethan, too, shared stories from their past. He described the time they danced in the rain, their laughter echoing through the empty streets. He painted vivid pictures of their stolen kisses in the moonlight, the taste of strawberries on Anna's lips. One day, they visited the old bookstore on Elm Street. The bell above the door tinkled as they stepped inside, and Anna's eyes widened at the rows of dusty shelves. She ran her fingers along the spines of the books, and suddenly, she stopped. "Look," she said, pulling out a worn copy of Pride and Prejudice. "This was our book." Ethan smiled. "Yes," he replied. "We used to read it aloud to each other." They sat on the creaky wooden floor, the book open between them. Anna's voice trembled as she read the familiar lines, the wit of Elizabeth Bennet, the brooding Mr. Darcy. And as she turned the pages, something magical happened. The words came alive, not just from the book but from their shared memories. "Mr. Darcy reminds me of you," Anna said, her eyes twinkling. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "Is that so?" "Yes," Anna continued, reserved, yet fiercely loyal. "And underneath it all, a heart that beats for love." Ethan leaned closer, their shoulders touching. "And Elizabeth Bennet?" he asked. Anna blushed. "She's strong-willed, independent. She knows what she wants." "And what do you want, Anna?" Ethan whispered. She looked into his eyes, and for a moment, the world faded away. "I want to remember everything," she said. "Every stolen kiss, every shared secret. I want our love to be etched in my heart forever." Ethan kissed her forehead. "Then let's create new memories," he said. "Ones that will last a lifetime." And so, they did. They danced in the rain once more, their laughter echoing through the streets. They painted together, Anna's brush strokes capturing the colors of their love. And every morning, Ethan left a single red rose at Anna's doorstep, a promise that their love would endure. The days in Willow Creek were getting longer, and the scent of spring was giving way to the warmth of summer. Ethan and Anna spent their evenings walking along the riverbank, where the water reflected the golden hues of the setting sun. One evening, as they sat watching the sunset, Anna turned to Ethan. "Do you remember the first time we watched the sunset together?" she asked. Ethan nodded, a smile playing on his lips. How could I forget? You said it was like watching a painting come to life. Anna leaned her head on Ethan's shoulder. I may not remember all the details, but the feelings, they're still here, as vivid as ever. Ethan wrapped his arm around her. That's all that matters, he said. We don't need to live in the past when we have the present. As the sky turned from orange to a deep purple, they made plans for the future. They talked about traveling to places they'd only dreamed of, about painting their own canvas with the colors of their experiences. The next day, Ethan took Anna to a place she hadn't been since before the accident, a small hill overlooking Willow Creek. As they reached the top, Anna's breath was taken away by the view. The entire town lay spread out before them, a tapestry of life and memories. This is where I realized I loved you, Ethan said, his voice barely above a whisper. Anna looked at him, her eyes filled with emotion. And it's where I fall in love with you all over again, she replied. They stood there, hand in hand, as the breeze carried the promise of endless possibilities. They didn't know what the future held, but they knew they would face it together. As summer enveloped Willow Creek, Ethan and Anna's love blossomed like the wildflowers in the meadows. Their shared memories became the foundation for new ones, and their hearts beat in sync, as if they had always been destined for each other. One sunny afternoon, Ethan took Anna to the old oak tree where they had shared their first kiss. The tree stood tall, its leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. Beneath its branches, Ethan dropped to one knee, a small velvet box in his hand. Anna, he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion, we've danced through forgotten memories and painted new ones. We've laughed, cried, and held each other through it all. And now, I want to create a memory that will last forever. Anna's eyes widened, her hand covering her mouth. She knew what was coming, and her heart raced. Ethan, she whispered. He opened the box, revealing a delicate ring, a single diamond set in a band of intertwined gold. Anna, he said, will you marry me? Tears welled up in Anna's eyes. She looked at the man who had patiently loved her, who had never given up even when she couldn't remember their past. Yes, she said, her voice trembling. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Ethan slipped the ring onto her finger, and they kissed beneath the oak tree, their oak tree. The leaves whispered their approval, and the sun bathed them in its golden glow. Word spread through Willow Creek like wildfire. The townspeople rejoiced, for they had witnessed the rekindling of a love that had once been lost. The bakery owner baked a special cake, and the art gallery displayed a painting of Ethan and Anna dancing by the river. And so, on a warm August day, Ethan and Anna stood before their friends and family, their hands clasped, their hearts full. The same oak tree that had witnessed their first kiss now sheltered them as they exchanged vows. I promise to love you, Ethan said, his voice unwavering, in every moment, in every memory, and in every lifetime. Anna's eyes sparkled. And I promise, she replied, to cherish our shared past and build a future together, one filled with love, laughter, and endless sunsets. As they kissed, the town erupted in applause. The river flowed, the birds sang, and love hung in the air like a sweet melody. Ethan and Anna danced their first dance as husband and wife, and in that moment, they knew that lost love could be found again, stronger and more beautiful than ever.